Hello friends, welcome to day 4 of my 12 days of mindset shifts, where I'm sharing some of the most powerful lessons or mindset shifts that I've learned to really unlock healing and eventually weight loss in my body. I had chronic health symptoms for years that I seemingly could not get better from until I worked on some of the things that I'm sharing with you. So these mindset shifts or ways of thinking or perceptions, they allowed me to feel like myself again, to feel creative, to be happy, to be joyful, to be playful. Because I lost that part of me for a while. And to be truthful, I chalked it up to old age in my 30s, P.S., where I just kind of accepted that this must be what happens when you get older. Everyone else complains about this stuff. This is just what my life is going to be like. I guess I only felt that good and that playful and that creative when I was in my 20s. But that's not true, because here I am in my 40s and I feel more joy, more happiness than I want to say I ever have. So the focus today is going to be on our internal dialogue, our internal self-talk. And I talked about some of this yesterday as well, and the message is that important. You know, repetition is the mother of all skill. The more times we hear a message, it allows it to really sink in. I know when I started to get introduced to these concepts, it took me a while. It took me several different books and podcasts and hearings and listenings to really truly understand what I was hearing. And it, like I said, has made the biggest difference and the biggest change in me. You know, when I went to my very first doctor on my healing journey 13 years ago, he made a comment and I remember it. He said, "Man, your nervous system is locked in fight or flight. We need to get you to calm down." And I was like, okay, I need to calm down. I was like 25 at the time or something. And so I tried to calm down the only way I knew how. I really got strict with my nutrition. I added some yoga into my exercise plan. I looked into journaling and started walking outside more and grounding, and I got into cold plunges and red light therapy. I did all these things, all these alternative therapies to help my system calm down. And I had some relief, but then things would get really bad again. I would end up right back where I was. Friends, there are 3 types of stressors that affect your body. Physical, which is like body, exercise, we get in an accident, we hurt ourselves. Then there's chemical, think like toxins in the air and the water. Also our food, our nutrition, that's like a chemical stress. And then there's emotional. And that's our thoughts and our stories and our words. And so we know what to do for our physical body. We know we should exercise more. We know what to do for our chemical body, where we're watching what we ingest, taking less antibiotics, these things. But what do you do for your emotional body? How do you help your mental emotional system regulate? Because I'll tell you, that is the number 1 stressor that's keeping you stuck, that's keeping you sick, that's preventing you from being able to get into a state where your body feels safe, where it heals, where it loses weight. Your body is so smart. It wants to come back into balance. It wants to find homeostasis, this state where everything is working, where all our systems are interplaying the way they're supposed to. The problem is we keep knocking it out of balance with the physical stressors, with the chemical stressors, but mostly with our mental emotional stressors. So the system can't keep up. We're just constantly in that fight or flight, and so it starts to break down. Now, there's not enough energy to keep us. We keep trying to rebalance, and there's not enough energy. We're running out of energy, and so the body's like, all right, well, we don't need to digest food right now. Let's steal some resources from digestion. We definitely don't need to have a baby right now, so let's steal some resources from the hormone system. Sleep starts to suffer. You don't feel good. Energy, your mood. We get stuck in our head, anxiety, depression. And then the body makes this the new norm. And now it just tries to bring you back to this level of balance. Instead of like homeostasis being here where we feel calm, relaxed, healthy, creative, playful, where we get stuck up here. And now the body's like, okay, this is normal. And we keep going up. So the body just keeps trying to bring you back to here, because it's not that age is the reason why we have more stress. It's that we're accumulating more and more stressors. Now we've got more financial stress. Now we've got maybe kids in the mix. Now maybe there's relationship issues, which comes with more internal self-talk. We don't process our emotions well. We don't process traumatic events. And so those things live in our body, and they're what's keeping us stuck and keeping us locked on. Your symptoms start to get worse and worse. And so you do what you can for exercise. You try to eat better. You maybe make some of the changes like walking and journaling, and you work on these things, but you're keep coming back and you don't understand why. You know what you should do, but you have zero energy to actually get there. It's the stories. It's the narrative. It's the constant state of fear and frustration and nothing's working and I can't do this and it's too hard and I'm never going to get better and I suck and I'm not good enough. Want something different? Do something different. If you want to change, if you want to heal, if you want your life to change, if you want to start following through on all the things that you know you should do, that list of things I know I should do, if you want to set goals, if you want to go after them, then you've got to address the nervous system. You've got to remove the parking brake of what's keeping you stuck. We've got to lower that normal to get you in a place where you've got more reserves, where you can handle stressors, where you're not stuck in the problems, where you're able to see solutions. You've got to unravel the stories, the words, the language. I say this stuff a lot, and I hope that it's landing, the narrative that you have about yourself. Because I'll tell you, the deeper we dig this hole, the more we get stuck, the harder it is to get out. And take my word for that, friends. It took me a very long time to get out. A lot of persistence. And I ignored it for years because I was afraid of how hard it was going to be. I didn't want to feel. I kept numbing the feelings, burying them, hiding them, until there was nowhere else for them to go. I posted something today. I reposted something about, have you ever just started crying because the emotions just come out of you where you just can't hold them in anymore? I don't know if you've ever been there or felt that, but I have, where you're just crying and you don't know why. It doesn't feel like it's that bad, but you just can't stop. And it's because you haven't allowed yourself to feel. And we bury it and bury it and bury it. Well, eventually it's going to come out. It doesn't just go away and disappear. You're going to have to go through the hard. And the more you try to avoid, the harder it's going to get. And the kicker is, the feelings that you're avoiding yourself feeling, you're still feeling in the form of shame and guilt and overwhelm and frustration and I can't do this. Like, you're still feeling those feelings. If your thoughts can make you sick, which has been scientifically proven, just our thoughts alone can make us sick, then your thoughts can also make you better. 90% of our thoughts are the same as the day before, and they're unconscious. They are habit. They happen without us knowing or thinking about it. We're not even aware of these thoughts. They're just, we literally are walking around 10% in our conscious mind, 90% in our unconscious, subconscious mind. And our thoughts lead to our behaviors. It's our thoughts that dictate our behaviors. The stories that we're telling ourselves, that's what gets us to make the healthier dinner or not. That's what gets us to make it to the gym or not. It's not just trying to force ourselves to do something, because then we feel bad when we don't do it. We have to change the driver, the programming, and that's our thoughts. Same thoughts, same behaviors, same results. Different thoughts, different behaviors, different results. And teaching you how to do that is exactly why I'm launching this coaching program in January. Because it's not something I can do here on a 10-minute live. But it's what's needed right now. It's what's been missing in the health and wellness space. So many people spin their wheels trying to force new habits, force themselves to go to the gym, force themselves to eat better. And then when they don't, or don't consistently, they beat themselves up, which just keeps stress on the nervous system, and it keeps you stuck and it keeps you locked there. We have to do it different. If you've tried your way year after year and you're not seeing results, you're not sticking to what you're meaning to do, you're not seeing the change that you want, try something different. We've got to balance the nervous system. We've got to learn to process emotions, to slow down, come into our body and feel. Because that's the only place you're going to make a different decision from. It's not when we're in our head, when we're stuck in fear, when we're thinking it's not going to work, when we're worried about our money problems, when we're worried about everything, when we're worried about life and why can't I change and da-da-da-da. It's not going to happen there. And I think you'll be really surprised at how once you learn to do that, once you heal the nervous system, learn to feel emotions instead of avoid them, how much easier it is to change behavior and lose weight. I'll be honest, especially in the beginning of my journey, I was so strict with my diet. So strict. Like I did not eat sugar. I did not drink alcohol. I was eating all the vegetables and the proteins and everything they tell you to do. Everything I knew, everything I was telling people to do. And my weight wouldn't budge. Fast forward, doing all of the work on my internal self, the way that I talked to myself, the stories that I had, the narrative that was playing, the programming. I'm eating worse than I ever have, drinking more. And I'm not saying this is what you should do. I'm just telling you this is what has happened to me and what has happened with several of the clients that I've coached with. When you take away the stress, it gets easier to make better decisions, and your body has the capacity to handle and process things differently, which affects how you process food. It affects the energy that you extract from food, which means you're not having these intense cravings because your body's not getting enough, because now it's getting nourished because your stress levels are lower. And again, stress is more than what we think about as far as relationship and financial. The biggest stressors are our thoughts. So if you want to learn more, about how to do this, comment KTC, keep the commitment, in the comments below. I'll send you more info. I would love to chat. This coaching program is literally like my life's work. It combines everything that I've learned, the best of everything that I've learned. And I can't even wait to put it out there. So see you tomorrow, friends, for day number 5. Much love.